So hello everyone, and thank you for joining an AMA with DØP3 Club and Wanchain. Excited to just give you a high-level overview of what some of our goals are, and really what we want to achieve with NFT bridges. And we've come together with Wanchain to enable that technology for us. So I'll give Tam a chance to introduce himself.
Sure, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm here on behalf of Wanchain, the cross-chain bridge builder. And as Trey mentioned, we're starting to ramp things up to have these cross-chain NFT bridges, and the DØP Club is going to be at the cutting edge of this kind of new type of bridge. So I'm excited to share a little bit more about Wanchain and about what we're doing with the DØP Club.
Awesome. If you wouldn't mind, can you share a little bit about your background and how you got into the blockchain space?
Sure. Yeah, I actually got into blockchain pretty early, all things considered, as at least early by non-dev standards. I was a grad student back in 2012 and just kind of came across Bitcoin at that time in my studies, started writing a little bit about it, its kind of influence on power structures and kind of going in from that angle. And that just like sparked a bit of joy in my life, hearing all this stuff about blockchain just sounded really cool. Nice. And then, then I kind of went back to my studies and got into blockchain kind of full-time as a job during the ICO boom. And have been in the space ever since. And, ended up after a few different projects at Wanchain. And I must say, after going through and seeing different sides of the industry, it's kind of nice to be at a blockchain company where, the tech works, it's all real, especially having lived through the ICO boom. So it's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, I have a healthcare tech background. I've launched startups professionally for the last 15 years before I got into blockchain, and nothing like when the tech works like you want it to. So tell us about Wanchain.
Yeah, so Wanchain, WAN, we call it the kind of wide area network of blockchains. We're a project that really kind of wants to just link all the different blockchains out there, make them kind of communicate and function as one large network in the long term. That's our vision. And we kind of think that this type of interoperability is really kind of the key for adoption for all blockchains. So it's really something we're passionate about. Wanchain itself, it is kind of a veteran of the industry at this point. Many or multiple years old, having launched again in the ICO boom, but it's one of the kind of success stories of the ICO era. And today, like I said, the tech stack's pretty mature. We have lots of bridges that are on mainnet, have been up for years, functioning smoothly, securely, and we're currently connecting more than 17 different layer 1s and layer 2s. Wow. So it's really kind of an extensive network at this point. But even though we're a few years in and we are kind of, have a considerable expertise in cross-chain technology, we still view it as pretty early days. And so we have a lot of innovation that still needs to happen in the space. And that kind of leads us to these NFT bridges, which is kind of the next step on that road.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know anything about DØP Club, that's really how we came together. So DØP Club is a multi-chain NFT project, and we mint exclusive collections across every major blockchain. But normally our collections are really small, maybe about 100 or so. And we were looking at ways to kind of expand our total addressable market, make our NFTs that may only be available on the XDC or the Zenfin blockchain network today, give them ability to go to other blockchains, Polygon, Ethereum, you name it. So when we met up with Wanchain, our mission and our vision were just very much aligned, and we started conversations, and here we are today. So I want to take a break and kind of tell folks about Wanchain. All right, so here we have DØP Club's home website. As I said, we're a multi-chain NFT project. But one of the things I'm really excited to share with everyone today is kind of how these bridges will work. So Tam, if you could take just a minute to talk about cross-chain bridges and kind of how it actually works functionally.
Sure. When it comes to fungible tokens and not NFTs, just regular coins, we have like a few different ways of being able to bridge them between different chains. One basic way is like what's called the lock, mint, burn, unlock method. So basically you take the original asset, the coin, you lock it on the source chain, and then you mint a wrap version of it on the destination chain that you can then play around with. A second kind of way of doing that is through liquidity pools. So this is like especially useful when you have things like USDT, where there's like the real version of USDT, meaning issued by Tether on multiple chains. So you don't want to end up with like a wrap version if the real version exists on that same blockchain. So we can kind of bridge that using liquidity pools. But with something like an NFT, where the kind of point is that there's one real one and one real one alone, it makes far more sense to use that first method. So we're using something quite similar to the lock, mint, burn, and lock method for these NFT bridges.
Okay.
So you'll have the original NFT that got minted, let's say on XDC network. So then the bridge will lock that NFT in a lock account on XDC. Okay. And then depending on which chain you want to go to, it'll mint kind of like a mirrored version of the NFT on the destination chain. So kind of one twist versus the regular bridges is that these NFTs, they have attributes, whether it's a link to the digital art, or in some kind of more complicated cases, you have different types of attributes tied to the NFT. Okay. So our bridges are able to kind of maintain those. So you'll have the same attributes on the mirrored version as you do on the kind of original version. So you'll still be able to see the art that it's supposed to link to, and if there's other kind of more complicated features, that'll also kind of remain on the mirrored version as well.
Awesome. So I appreciate you sharing that. For those of you who have never, don't know anything about DØP Club, here is our Twitter page. And as I mentioned, we're really excited. We have our Wanchain project pinned to the top because we're really excited about and want to talk about and promote what we're trying to do here. Ultimately, we believe that rising tide lifts all boats. So we want not only the XDC, not only the DØP Club NFTs to be cross-chain, but we'd love to kind of be a pioneer in opening up for the whole space. As I mentioned, we're a multi-chain NFT project, and this is one of the things that I'm most proud of, is just like how many blockchains we're currently on, and we plan to move to a lot in the future. So this is kind of a special announcement for us, as DØP Club is now live on Zoo's Market, which is our first collection on the Hedera blockchain. We started on XDC NFT, and I'm going to talk about that today. But we also have the XRPL coming up on XRP, and then AVAX is coming very, very soon. So something that sets DØP Club apart is that when we first started on the XDC blockchain, within the first 6 days, we had 1 million XDC worth of sales. So we have a really small collection, only 100. There's about 45 left, but really exclusive and rare NFT collection. And when you buy an XDC NFT, you get a custom jersey like the one you see here. This is one of our members who actually put his NFT on his Apple Watch, so we thought that was pretty cool. Another thing that sets us apart is we were actually one of the first NFT companies to have an NFT on a sponsorship with a motocross driver, a professional driver in the Silverstone 500. So really, really proud of some of the things we've been able to do here. And then finally, for the NFT holders only, we have a private metaverse. So in our metaverse, we have happy hours. This is kind of a little glimpse of our little penthouse where we feature the purchased art. We do fireside chats, and even a little dance and happy hour. So just some of the things that I wanted to share as we kind of go back to Wanchain and talk about this, not only this partnership, but also what's coming in the future for Wanchain. Tam, you want to give us a taste of what's coming?
Wanchain is kind of always developing all sorts of different interoperability related things. So, we're kind of leading with these NFT bridges with DØP Club, but after kind of your NFTs, or at least the cross-chain function of your NFTs are out, we're going to roll out more and more NFT cross-chain functionality. We've got a few things in the work with a couple marketplaces.
Awesome.
So you're going to kind of see like a big wave of cross-chain NFTs all coming around the same time.
Awesome.
And then outside the NFT sphere, we're also working on a few other things. So we're about to launch a kind of new, easier way to move your stablecoins cross-chain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're kind of revamping. We've had the wrap versions on our bridges of USDT, USDC, DAI for a long time already. But with USDT kind of appearing on more and more chains, we've kind of revamped the whole system. So basically, it'll just be easier than ever to go from like a USDT on Ethereum to Tron to OKC, all kind of totally decentralized without having to go through a centralized exchange, to make those kind of swaps. So we're looking forward to rolling that out. And then for those who are not super familiar with Wanchain, let me just kind of go back quickly. We kind of have two pillars to our project. So one are the cross-chain bridges that I mentioned, currently linking more than 17 layer 1s, layer 2s, but we also have our own layer 1. It's a totally EVM compatible POS chain. So there's more and more applications that are launching on our own network all the time. So you're going to see a lot of stuff happening there. We actually just recently had our hard fork, which kind of upgraded our EVM to be kind of totally compatible with the newest version of the EVM, Ethereum EVM. And it also added like a few functions, like there's a WEN coin burning mechanism. So at every transaction, you're burning a little WEN now. So there's some exciting stuff happening there as well on the layer one side.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, yeah, so for those of you who didn't know anything about Wanchain and wanted to learn more, I hope you learned a little something today. For those of you who didn't know anything about DØP Club, would love to have you check out one of our collections, maybe even add one of our NFTs to your collection. But overall, just want to thank you for your time. You'll see our contact information below, and thank you all for your time today.